Hello, I am Pigeon or Xander or whatever you want to call me. I do not really care. And today we are going to be talking about VTubing. First thing you probably notice if this is another video of mine you are seeing is that I am not in my room. Right now I'm back home. I just finished up a semester of college, so my room is kind of bare, and I thought that this could be more of an interesting backdrop rather than, just me in my bed with a fucking white wall. The second thing is, I know I need a haircut. Don't make fun of me, I will cry. If you are over the age of 25 and you have a job, you may be wondering, what is a VTuber? A VTuber is this. Think of your average streamer or content creator, but instead of their face being on camera and talking to a mic like I am, or even just not having a face cam and speaking over like some fucking CSGO gameplay or something, these people will spend hundreds to potentially thousands of dollars on rigging a little anime persona. This little anime creature that they have conjured up with their millions of dollars. I'm sure all of them are very rich. It moves when they move, it speaks when they speak, its emotions change based on the facial expressions. It's actually pretty cool, technologically speaking. Now, it's kind of hard to lump these in all together because some of these creators have just little unique characters that they've created themselves, and others look more like, Oda drew them and then gave them the jiggle physics from Dead or Alive. In all honesty, VTubing is something that does not make that much sense to me. But that being said, that's not really anything that warrants criticism. There are plenty of great people within the VTubing community, and it would be unjustified for me to try and say that the community as a whole is inherently evil. There are people that are doing innovative and cool things, and who am I to say what is or is not a proper outlet as long as they're not really doing anything that I deem as immoral. Lots of communities personally don't appeal to me, but that's never going to make me dislike a community as a whole. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of people that find my own interests plenty weird and unappealing. I say all this to say that even if something does not personally appeal to you, that I am speaking to you, directly the viewer, that's right, I fucking see you, you piece of shit, you. Within every community is a group of people that are innovative and kind and great and doing amazing things within their own mediums. And one person being a bad egg is never a reason to continually harass or look down upon a community as a whole. I am going to make plenty of jokes at the expense of this hobby, but I promise they're all in good jest. So hopefully that should cover my ass in case anyone wants to push me down a set of stairs for saying that jiggle physics are kind of funny. In spite of my caveats, this video is still going to continue though, because conservatism has found a new home. Despite the macho masculine persona that so many of these weird online grifters want to put forth, conservatism has found a breeding ground in one of the most unlikely places, VTubing. Because I don't know about you, but when I think of traditional values, I think of an anime character dancing in front of a swastika. That's something that just makes sense to me. I love this timeline. In order to properly go over this concept and go over what is, in my opinion, one of the weirdest phenomena in our current political landscape, I think it's best if I choose one single person to look over. And while there is a surprising amount of people, or I guess I could say specimens, that I could choose from, I landed on the one, the only, Kirsch. Fucking Kirsch. I think it's Kirsch. I'm going to say Kirsch. If that's not correct, I don't really care because I don't think they're a very good person. Now, why did you choose Kirsch, Pigeon? I hear you typing as fast as you can, so that way the Cheeto dust flings off your fingers into your computer fan so hard until it starts sounding like a cat wheezing on its final breaths. And that's for a couple reasons. The first one being that she is a relatively large creator within the space. I mean, she's nothing absurd, of course, but it doesn't feel as though I am platforming some sort of small creator to just be able to spread hateful views through my own content. And it also doesn't feel like I'm punching down on some kind of person that does not matter in the grand scheme of things, even though, yeah, this person probably does not matter in the grand scheme of things. Another reason is that she's been in some hot water currently because of some things she's done on Twitter. You know, I like my videos to be relevant and hard-hitting. What's more relevant and hard-hitting than anime girls with big boobs? But the final and main reason I wanted to do this is because she engages in something that I personally like to call Schrodinger's and Nazi. You see, Kirsch does not actively spread alt-right rhetoric through her direct views. She does not go, I hate Jewish people, and Hitler was fucking epic. No, instead what she does is she creates an environment where conservatism and Nazism can breed and it can grow, and then still has a level of plausible deniability to go along with it. There are plenty of radical centrists or moderate Republicans that engage in this tactic, and it's something that I think is pervasive, and I would just love to go over in a video. So the question is, where to start this conversation? These fucking birds are fucking loud. Can they hear this in the video? I'm worried. Can you guys hear the birds? You know, like in movies, when like birds start going crazy and it's like a sign that like a fucking tornado is gonna happen? Am I in danger? This whole saga of Kirsch's most recent drama started with the release of her merchandise. This whole saga of Kirsch fighting with the dirty libs, I know, started with the release of her merchandise and her fans beginning to receive said merchandise. This was not your average merchandise, though. This was a awesome Chungus little basement-pilled plushie of our favorite VTuber. That's well-adjusted to society. Just as with many creators, she replied to many people that have tweeted out that they got the plushie. She retweeted plenty of these people. A very nice gesture, I am sure. That is, until of course, one Twitter user, one chronically online freak like myself, pointed out something in one of the posts. Now, let me know if you see it. Give you one more second. What could that be? Yeah, that's what you think it is. Now, make no mistake, Kirsch was known for being an edgy creator before this, for good reason. You know, for stuff like joking about police killing POC, celebrating making trans women not legally women, being anti-DEI, retweeting the ICE hotline, spreading misinformation about trans people, being pro-Trump, pushing the stupid Assassin's Creed discourse, calling people race hustlers, claiming that trans people are trying to damage the way people communicate. And of course, aligning herself with various bigots, rapists, and out and about Nazis. But yeah, this was the first snowball in her push into the public ire, as it were, if you catch my drift. Sorry, the trans people ruining how we communicate, it fucking gets me. They're fucking oppressing me! The trans women! How the fuck will anyone know what I'm talking about when I say birthing person? They're gonna fucking shoot me in the head. It's a thought crime. Now, Kirsch, probably understanding how bad it looks to be retweeting someone with Nazi memorabilia like that, she started to sweat a bit. She maintains that, of course, she had no idea that the Nazi memorabilia was there, and she was just being a nice and thoughtful content creator. You know, the gross left was just looking for ways to cancel her because, you know, that's what we do. We build people up to tear them down. Never mind the fact that she has retweeted and endorsed people calling her Ku Klux Kirsch and all of her Nazi talking points. Clearly, this was character assassination at the end of the day by fucking blue hair pronouns. Disgusting. Well, some time passed, this really didn't go anywhere. Kirsch continued to say some like vaguely racist shit and retweet some fucked up people. Bint the original, I don't know, whistleblower, continued to point out how weird and fucked up she was, and then she continued to wah all the way home about how people were taking her out of context and all this shit. This was all until April 21st, 2025. It's raining right now a little bit. I don't know if it really catches up on camera, but probably not. But I want to try and get this video done. So, tough shit. On April 21st, a Vice article was published by Anna Valens. Now, the article itself has been taken down, and I will go into the reasons why later on, but you can still read it on the Wayback Machine if you are interested in reading it. But I'm still going to summarize it generally. The article is titled, "Why is this GamerSupps VTuber pushing the Great Replacement Theory?" And it essentially goes over everything I have in this video, but a little more in depth and in detail. It details Kirsch's appeal to the alt-right by showing both her vague political comments and alt-right leanings, and also the amount of people within her community that align that way and that she actively shows support to because they support her. I'm not going to sit here and say that the article is perfect by any means. I certainly have my own criticisms of it that I will go over a little bit later. But generally speaking, I agree with the assertions made in it. Suffice to say, Kirsch did not. Kirsch proceeded to call the article slanderous, saying that it mischaracterized her, took her out of context, and that it was biased, etc., etc. And once again, this kind of culminated in nothing really at first. There was just a continued back and forth for some days. Kirsch getting real mad about the cancel culture left. And then more people being like, hey, you're a bad person. And her going, fuck you. Here's a song about George Floyd.
Over the past decade, the pendulum regarding DEI in corporate America has swung both ways. Far to the left in 2020 in the aftermath of George Floyd's murder. Ah, Saint Floyd of the fentanyl, in his name we pray, amen.
Now, surprisingly, this back and forth culminated in a second Vice article actually dropping. This article dropped on May 9th, and it was titled, "VTubing has an elephant in the room, bigotry." And once again, I will summarize the article, but you can read the full thing in the Wayback Machine as well. The second article is far less important when discussing Kirsch specifically, as it mainly goes over the response from the VTubing community and harassment that the author got from said community, as well as other bigotries that are taking place within VTubing. And then on May 12th, a third article dropped. This one was essentially just a defense of Anna Valens and saying that they felt that the articles were justified, and they corroborated the fact that, yes, she was being harassed. Once again, Kirsch proceeded to act as if she was the #1 victim in this situation. Most of her crying was over a single lost sponsorship, that being a sponsorship that was not even mentioned in the articles. So attributing it to those articles, in my opinion, is just cope. Cry more, get fucking owned. Don't be racist. Novel concept, I know. All this culminated in Kirsch threatening legal litigation. She sent a cease and desist or a threat or whatever and gave it to Vice, and Vice eventually took down the articles. So, to be completely honest, when it's all laid out like that, it kind of seems like a big fucking nothing burger. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I get that, like, Kirsch is stupid and awful or whatever the fuck I want to call her. But, like, is drama slop really what I'm interested in here? Is that the crux of why I'm making this video? And, no, I don't think so. I mean, at least not in the way that I think you probably think I'm interested in this. You see, I think there's something far more insidious going on here. When I look at the Vice articles, I think there is plenty to criticize. You know, it's weird that Anna seems to use an odd amount of random testimonials from people online as evidence or use of journalism. The articles are also about a pretty niche topic that require a decent amount of background information, and the articles do a pretty poor job at setting up the proper context that's needed to understand the situation. And especially considering Anna Valens' personal proclivities and the way she has tweeted about certain creators in the past, the articles read a lot like personal grievances rather than really journalism. But the thing is any of that why Kirsch is mad about this? In order to understand that, let's actually look at the cease and desist, for lack of a better word. Listen, I call it that, but it's very obvious upon reading it how amateur it is. I'm really sorry that I have to subject all of you to this, but it's important for the story. Hey, you clicked on the video. Fuck you. No, I'm not sorry. Fuck you. Fuck you. Yeah, so here's the cease and desist. It's titled, "Why is Vice's Waypoint Pushing for 2018 Style Cancel Culture for VTubing?" Or an open letter from Kirsch Verstall. "Hey Vice, what the fuck? I'm Kirsch Verstall. I'm a VTuber, which means I stream with a digital avatar that looks like this." That's fucking awesome, dude. Fucking hell yeah. This is Reddit as shit. "You can catch me on my stream on Twitch or YouTube. I play games, watch memes, share my thoughts on the news, you know, what streamers do. I basically just tangent on whatever I find interesting, and my honorable chatters affectionately call me a whiplash streamer. I have over 9,000 browser tabs and 184,000 fans across YouTube, Twitch, and X. Yay, course it is. I'm gonna blow my brains out. Also, I'm not a Nazi. They walk funny and did too much meth and didn't like to laugh. And they probably would hate me and most of my friends. So how come you keep calling me one? Vice used to be known for honest, real stuff. Kind of like what Gawker aspired to be before, you know, it's decided to step into the ring, brother. I'm not gonna do the Hulk Hogan Macho Man impression, sorry. You did a whole issue dedicated to people who are mentally ill. Okay. You sent Dennis Rodman to North Korea. You even used to call out the mainstream media for not getting YouTube. In any event, starting about a month ago, Waypoint, which is one of your verticals, a quasi-independent outlet, a failed gaming news site that you are trying to revive, something most people don't even know exists. Either way, a lot of those ended with question marks, and that does not make sense in this, whatever. Either way, it started publishing articles about me saying I'm a bigot, a Nazi simp, and that I'm responsible for all sorts of online harassment. It's completely untrue, of course, but also, why me? And why now? I'm an anime foxwoman. No the fuck you're not, you're a 30-year-old woman. What could a once respectable news org want with me? Is it 2018 all over again? Is the Vice and PC police for VTubers? So again, Vice, what the fuck? Dude, this is so funny. I love the way she says, what the fuck? So fucking awesome. Holy shit, this is so Reddit. Okay, let me break it down. I know I've covered this in my past couple of streams, but Vice isn't a subscriber. Yet. Maybe if I tangent about their Colombian donkey fucking video a few more times, they'll come around. Here's the headline from the first article you published about me. Not to brag or anything, but I have over 184,000 fans. You're accusing me of bigotry because one of my fans is a supposed Nazi. That's like saying McDonald's supports communism because Kim Jong-un likes Big Macs. Okay. Rather than back up this outrageous accusation, the article starts by talking about my sponsor, GamerSupps. Huh? My first time hearing about all of this supposed controversy. Literally, I've been sponsored by GamerSupps since September 2023. This is a tactic called manufacturing consensus. Thank you, you're so smart. Where activists claim everyone agrees with them to make their point seem legitimate. Note that this paragraph doesn't cite a single source, but also, it is true I've never hidden my political leanings, and yet never heard of any controversy until this article started pretending there was one. I had a few weirdos on Twitter harassing me, but as an impressed person of anime, I am used to that kind of thing. And the sources cited in the article are anonymous posts on Reddit. Really? Even the people making the post claim they don't watch me and are just repeating hearsay. So a Vice journalist is repeating hearsay from someone who is repeating hearsay. Really? God, she's so snarky and sassy. I love it. Here's the headline of the second article published about me. Obviously, I think harassment is bad. I don't think you... Based off of the shit you've been doing, I don't think you think that. I don't do it, and I tell all my fans not to do it. The suggestion made repeatedly in this article that I and my fans endorse harassment is totally false. In fact, fully half of the tweets quoted in this article are from a person who goes by Binted or Bint, who has serially harassed me for months. Harassment is when you tweet at someone. Harassment is when you tweet a clip of what someone said. Does Anna Valens mention this in her article? No. Do I have proof of this harassment, which I would have shared if Vice bothered to ask? Absolutely. Here's just a couple examples. And then she just embeds a few images of Bint tweeting and talking about her. But the article doesn't talk about this. Instead, the article again talks about my sponsor, GamerSupps, and tries to make it seem like there's some sort of controversy brewing. Yeah, it's just more talking about, you can read it if you want, it's not important. Look, I love that GamerSupps supports VTubers from every side of the political spectrum. I don't like it when companies support Nazis, but that's me. Kirsch disagrees. That's one of the things that makes them such an amazing partner. That and their awesome supplements. I'm not reading out the fucking code. I hope I continue to work with GamerSupps, but if this effort to cancel me is successful, I have to wonder, who's next? You're right, it might be Hitler. Here's the third article Vice wrote about me. Again, I agree, harassment is bad. No one should do it. I don't do it. I tell my fans not to do it. The article says everything she's going through, but I'll sum it up. Anna is being attacked for simply asking questions about certain areas of the VTubing community, which she's an active part of. Just asking questions? Look, I read these articles pretty carefully. I don't see a lot of questions, mostly a lot of statements based on Reddit threads and other anonymous sources. This seems very targeted at me, and why? I am an anime foxgirl VTuber. You are 30. You're Vice. What the fuck? Also, this happened in the article. The time for games is over. Is irony just totally dead? We're still talking about VTubing, right? Anyway, not to be all you started it, but you literally started it. There was no controversy. No one apart from a few anonymous internet trolls, Vice quotes in its articles, was butthurt about what I was doing or saying on my stream until you started writing articles calling me a Nazi. And now, you're calling me a bully, and it's saying it's time to start a war. This is 2018 style cancel culture all over again. Or is it VTuber Gate? Anyway, it's getting pretty tired. Someone says something you don't agree with. Start saying they're controversial, name drop all the brands they work with, play the victim card or rage tweet them until their sponsors bail. This is the playbook used over and over again. Anyway, if we're just asking questions, I have one. How come in the middle of all this Anna Valens is asking people to buy her gifts on Throne? Surely this isn't all just a big branding opportunity for someone who wants to become the definitive VTube journo, right? Right? See kids, this is what we call projection. When you view politics through this lens of just saying shit for money and controversy, you begin to think that it's impossible for anyone to actually believe the shit they're saying. And that's called projection. That's the word of the day. I don't want to go to court over this, but if you keep calling me a Nazi and keep calling for my sponsors to drop me, what else am I supposed to do? Seriously, Vice, is this what you want? You want to be the PC police for VTubers? I'm sorry, it gets me every time. On your front page right now, you have articles about crazy horny mud truckers and how cool it is to be goth in Ukraine right now. But my stream is too controversial. I'm asking nicely, woo, please take these articles down and stop pretending there's a controversy when there isn't. I promise if you do, I'll go back to streaming and you can go back to reporting on the Berlin Sex Toy Expo or whatever it is you do now. Love, Kirsch. Yeah, that was pretty stupid. Now listen, as awful as that was, and once again I am sorry to have to subject you to her humor, what did you notice was Kirsch's main issue with what the article said? The main thing that she kept on harping on and on again is that the articles called her a Nazi, which, you know, that's pretty funny, because they didn't. The articles call some of her fans Nazis because they have, like, Nazi literature on their bookshelves, like, purposely posed your merchandise in front of it, so I think it's a fair reason to assume someone's a Nazi. The articles also literally just said the things you, like, said on your stream. They just pointed out, like, racist and transphobic shit you've said in the past, which is not only different from calling you a Nazi, but is very much not slander. Those are just the things you said. And her other main problem is that they mentioned GamerSupps a lot, a company that she is still partnered with. And all of this is to appeal to the anti-cancel culture crowd. Cancel culture is not grounds for defamation. You don't have a case there. Even hypothetically calling a public figure a Nazi and then explaining your reasons as to why by showing direct evidence of fucked up shit you've said in the past and the kind of people that follow you, that's not slander either. Well, I hear you fans of Kirsch saying in the comments, Vice took down the articles. That must prove that she has a case for defamation. No, it doesn't. Unsurprisingly, a lot of companies and individuals alike just don't want to have to deal with civil litigation. It's a fucking pain in the ass. It takes time, it takes money, and even if you're in the right, it's years of just going into courts and presenting shit constantly. It's just not fucking worth it half the time. So Vice taking down the articles doesn't prove that Kirsch was secretly right this whole time, and that she actually has a case for defamation. It just proves that Kirsch has too much fucking time on her hands. So, why did I go over this entire situation and call this VTuber both cringe and fucking stupid? Well, it's mainly to point out something that I hope that you can maybe see when you are having a conversation with anyone about politics, whether that be in real life or in an online space. You see, Kirsch does not actually care about Nazism. She does not care about what the ideology means. She cares about what that means for her pockets. Kirsch would happily push all the hatred and bigotry that comes along with Nazism, but for her, it's a far bigger sin to insinuate that possibly she has cultivated an alt-right audience. She does not actually care about Nazism. She cares about what acknowledging those views means for her. It means losing sponsorships. It means hatred from the general public eye. But as long as she keeps on dancing around the elephant in the room, she can have her cake and she can eat it too. She can tweet out the ICE hotline. She can push lies about immigration. She can say horrible things about trans people. She can make fun of black people murdered in broad daylight. She can retweet and follow people with Nazi memorabilia. She can hang out with people that are self-admitted white supremacists.
How easy are you to gaslight? Holy shit!
What happened?
Your chat just telling you that I'm fake this whole time.
I didn't check in the chat. I don't know what to tell you.
You don't read your chat. You just read the spam.
Do you see how fast it's going? It's fucking going fast as fuck.
Just as fast, and I have 2 of them. What are these excuses, you woman?
I can't help but be annoyed by this black and Asian couple, or maybe they're just platonic friends. As something you'll notice throughout this entire show, there's basically no white men anywhere to be seen.
She can say that Muslims are trying to take over Western civilization.
Like a 2.5 million pound mosque somewhere in like northern England that doesn't even have like a large Muslim population, and I was like, of course they are. Yeah, of course they are. I get increasingly angry when I see people who are just like, well, they're not doing anything illegal, so like you can't really be mad at them. It's like this is very clearly a hostile takeover. Like, we're experiencing it in the US via illegal immigration. They're experiencing it in the UK via, like, the migrant crisis nonsense and refugees, which, potato, basically the same fucking thing.
She can say calling a child the N-word is an inevitability in our society.
Going to do without followers that think it's okay to call a 5-year-old the N-word. I don't think most people think it's okay. I think there are a lot of people who are tired of things happening, like Daniel Penny, like the whole George Floyd incident and the Summer of Love, like the Carmelo Anthony. There's just a lot of people tired of the 2-tier justice system, and they start saying some crazy things and doing some crazy things.
But acknowledging what the sum of all of her views adds up to is something that you cannot do. And as long as her audience understands the mission, as long as these dog whistles are high-pitched enough and hard enough for people to really wade through the waters from, she can continue pretending as if she is not what she is. She can continue to try and silence detractors. She can threaten legal litigation and push harassment campaigns towards authors, all while claiming to be the victim and then claiming victory when inevitably those detractors give up. Because bigotry, Nazism, it grows best without light. And the last thing Kirsch wants us to do is to look behind the curtain. Thanks for watching. Unscripted outro time. Sorry if any of the parts kind of seem like weirdly chopped up. There's multiple times where I had to go inside for periods of time because of either my camera dying or whatever. So hopefully it's all kind of played consistent, but I understand that it might not be. Sorry if this video seemed kind of more drama sloppy than my other ones. I try really hard to appeal to bigger ideas that I think that people need to watch out for. And I do think a lot of times what kind of gets people into that is kind of engaging in these concepts in ways that are almost kind of purposely stupid. You know what I mean? I've been wanting to talk about the plausible deniability that is employed by so many conservative people, you know, the Asmongold, the Kirsches, the Mudahars, the Ethan Kleins, where they don't like to say horrible shit themselves, or if they do, it's kind of buried in between. Sorry. But if they do say horrible shit themselves, it's kind of buried in between 20 minutes of them just saying they're not racist without actually, you know, taking back the racist shit they've done. I tried my best to try and make that understandable, but it can feel disingenuous to look at politics and people through such a drama-based lens, I suppose. But, you know, that's how content works, and I don't know, I think sometimes it's fun to... Not all my videos have to be super academic. I think sometimes it's okay for me to just kind of drop you guys a fucking a 40-minute video about a VTuber that sings about George Floyd while her anime character's boobs jiggle up and down. Beyond that, I want to thank you so much for watching. If you are interested in my videos or you like this video, just freaking give me a freaking like, man. Freaking hell yeah. Freaking subscribe, dude. Why the flip not? Just freaking do it, Nike. Hell yeah. If you're interested in what I have to say beyond just these videos once a month, you can follow me on any of my social medias. They're on screen somewhere. Thank you, Editor Xander, or Editor Pigeon. They're also in the description, as always. I'm typically most active on Twitter. But, you know, sometimes I stream on Twitch, sometimes I post on Instagram, sometimes I post on TikTok. So, you know, the more followers I get, the more I'll post on those other places as well. But Twitter is the main place where you'll find me being active. Right now, the plan and current rate I've been going at is about a video a month. But if you want more up-to-date information, to know exactly when a video comes out, because it's not exact by any means. And I'm not beholden to any contracts or anything. That's just kind of what I want to do. Of course, subscribe. Freaking hit that bell. Go ahead, post me on WikiFeet. You know, get this community bumping. I also reached 500 subs. So that's real nice. Thank you guys a lot. It's very nice. I was very... I've put off making this channel for a while. And it's something that I've always wanted to do. And I put it off for so long because I believed like no one would want to hear what what the fuck, I'm just some fucking guy, man. You know what I mean? I eventually just said, fuck it. I'll do it. And it's been nice to see that so many of you are interested in what I have to say at least. That's very nice. And if you're watching this now, you can consider yourself one of the freaking day ones, man. Before I get 1 billion subscribers, because that's gonna happen. I'm gonna be freaking be in fucking Madison Square Garden next week. So if you subscribe after that, if you subscribe after I perform on Madison Square Garden, where I talk for 40 minutes about Elon Musk wearing 2 hats. If you subscribe after that, everyone's gonna call you a fucking late to the train, man. You're gonna look like a fool. But if you're watching right now, you're ahead of the curve. And everyone wants to be ahead of the curve. Especially when it comes to white guys talking on the internet. It's sick as fuck. But yeah, that's it. I just wanted to thank you guys for your recent support. Oh my god, it started raining harder. I wanted to thank you guys for the uptick in support recently. It's very nice. And I will see you guys in the next video, where I fit myself in a hose. The next video, I'll put myself in a hose, and then I'll slowly snake it over into a bank vault, and then squirt myself out and take all the money for myself so I can buy Pokemon cards and Metaphor Fantasia. I don't know. It could happen. All right. Bye.
Okay, that's all the time I've got. I gotta get back to playing Animal Crossing New Leaf on my Nintendo 3DS.